Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Lights Out League Racing Season 32, Race 5. And if you could tell, we've hit the streets in the Far East in Suzuka. It's a track that divides a lot of drivers. It's a very racy circuit, built for occasions like this, but it's not the favourite of some. Mainly because it's very difficult to overtake. I think with the extra straight line mode section, that may give a bit more of an advantage down the back of the circuit to make an overtake, but we'll get into that later. We're fresh from Silverstone last week, where George Plaster took the first race win of his LOLR career, and we're excited to see if he can do that again. He did play out a bit fortunate with the safety car strategy, but in the pit stops, it was a reverse championship race, so he managed to carve his way through the field quite efficiently. But Portuguese still leads away in the championship with Amadi hot at his heels. It'll be very interesting to see if Portuguese will falter at all. All it takes is one incident, one missed race, and everyone else is back in the fight. It's so close, even after 4 races. And what better place to be to try and shake things up again, shake things up a bit. Shaking it up for the first time in quali. Here's Benja in the McLaren, and we'll jump on a hot lap with half of Team Egg as he goes on the run down, high speed down to turn 1, positions himself carefully on the left, touch the apex, double apex. He's gone a bit wide round turn 2, and he's gone a little bit deep. Still managed to keep within the track limits, but that was squirrely through the S-bends. There's no real reference point between each one, as they're all different with different cambers and elevation. Up turn 7 of Dunlop, pick up your speed, climbing uphill, go as far wide as possible. Needs to get out of the way of that car. Oh no, this is going to be a horrible move. Oh, just in time, wow. Around the second Degner. You need precision on the throttle as we hit turn 11 of the hairpin. A couple of different lines you can take on this one. Middle of the 2 from Benja. Foot on the throttle once again, and you can go flat out until you reach Spoon Corner. The first part of the corner is blind, so you just got to throw the car in, trust your car, don't go wide on either exit, especially the second one of those. You end up in the gravel. Down the back straight where there is another straight line mode where you can open up the wings. Down to 130R, fearsome, push the limit corner, clip the apex, do not need to brake at all. And then the final couple of corners of Casino Chicane, where we see some late moves happen, and then hug the right hand side inside of the corner to cross the line, finish the lap from the McLaren, and goes a 138. I reckon we're going to be in mid 129s, low 129s for pole, maybe even the high 28s as Amadi goes 122. Six Pampano 29 flat. What else we got coming? I think we've got a couple of Audis going across the line. Now what we're expecting is not that. Shawnee's in the gravel. Ramon in the Cadillac reserving for us once again. 29.6. Senna in the Ferrari 29.9. As George Plaster's on provisional pole. First one into the 28 to the 28.6. So 28.683 for Jax. A good 100th ahead of George. Tight at the top. Just like a fat bird wearing a crop top. M50. Blue Rush. It'll be called M50. Reserving in the Alpine for us. First time out debut. And will be one to keep an eye out for as Tommy goes P5. Gets jumped by his teammate Benji. And good to see Fat Man back on the grid. It's been a few weeks. And always good to have on the circuit as he's split. Mercedes split by Adam in the Ferrari. You're 29.4. Geezer up to P12, 30.2. I'd be hoping to get into the mid 129s. Rowley reserving in the Red Bull. Is currently P13. Div 2 driver Guna, P15. As we see, let's keep an eye on our championship leader as Portuguese has actually bailed out of a lap. It looks like he's done a warm-up or he's invalidated, so he hasn't actually set a time yet. That'll be quite interesting to see how he gets on with that. Suzuka P10. His teammate, he's normally been a back marker through the first part of this season. Found himself P10. Let's hope he can stay there. Cracking lap from the Audi. Good evening, Portuguese. We've got a full lobby. I think we're just waiting on one more driver. He's struggling to get into the session. I might give him another shout again. Come on, my guy. You can do it. Chill out. Benja needs a teammate. And after setting the first time of the session, he's currently holding up the pack. Is everyone doing one run and one run only? Will Portuguese have enough in his tank to go again, or is he going to get some fresh boots on and dive in the pits? He's going again then, so let's keep an eye on what he can do. Oh, he's got another fast lap, 1:28.1, half a second over Jax. Maybe it was a warm-up lap prior to that. I think want to be looking at that time with real interest. Whole second off Ahmadi, who's currently on a lap. He's doing another run on these softs, and I think he's not on a good lap at all. So we'll jump back on with Shawnee in a second. We'll just double check at the end of sector 2, which is down just ahead of 130R. Bendick's got an issue with his brake. Hopefully he can get it fixed and get the team in the garage, give him a hand. Down 3 seconds yet. D is not on a lap. Quite a few people out on the circuit. There's going to be a good mix of people on a hot lap, and you can see there's plenty coming out for their second run. I'll be surprised if we see Portuguese do a 3 runs. He might see himself a set of softs for the race if needed. A little bit squiffy coming around the final bend. And Shawnee goes P14 with a 30 flat. 3 thousandths behind his Div 2 rival Fleasy. Right. Let's keep an eye on Guna and see if he can improve. He's slightly down on his first time, but he is on old tyres. Let's keep one eye on Benja then. And we've got Heitzer in the Williams with Benedict this week on debut. Benja will be hoping for a better time. He's got 3 tenths to find to even gain another position on the grid. Enjoying a bit of quali action and looking forward to the race. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Terry Reds will not forgive me for saying, and has pulled out the lap there from Benja. Jax Danielson validated. I won't be happy with that. Let's keep an eye on Senna then, who's found 3 tenths on this second run. He's got a couple of corners to absolutely nail. And he could find himself up to around P9, even P8. Comes and crosses the line. And does go P8 behind his teammate, 129.4. Now talk about being tight in the Ferrari garage. Look at the... let's see where George is, just behind. Let's keep an eye on 6 Pompano. Be next across the line. Hi up, Stepper. It's a race day. Good to have you with us as always. His pants are on fire. Pompano not being very forgiving with the curbs. Crosses the line and doesn't improve his time. As Plaster goes on to the front row, ahead of Jack Daniels, the 28.4, still 0.3 off Portuguese, but I think he'll be happy with the progression. Heights are on up to 16th. Benja going around for another run and gets himself up to 16th then, replaces Heitzer. And Suzuka on another lap. I think B. Carrez is trying to get in. Just need to select your car, mate. And stays P13. Doesn't improve. It was down half a second. Keys goes P14. Adams, can he improve from his current position? He's going for another run. Into the pits. An Alpine. Guna's on an out lap. Got 5 minutes or so left to go. Left to quali, all to play for. Pompano's going in for his pit stop. Plaster's going in for his final pit stop. Jax is on a run though. He's gone again, loses his back end slightly on the final run and gets himself back on the front row. 28.3, they're closing in on Portuguese, he's doing another warm-up lap. Oh, and that was it. I don't know if Adam was on a lap or not. Might be a questionable quali block from Portuguese. Adams found half a second here. He's got rid of some fuel. This could get him into the 28s and potentially on row 2 if he can nail these final couple of corners. Crosses the line. P5 just lost a little bit of time in that final sector, but woo, I think he'll be really chuffed with that. 300s behind the Scotsman of Amadee. Alpine in my ass. Let's keep an eye on. Jax is down. Portuguese is on a flyer. Let's keep an eye on Amadee then. See if he can improve. Didn't seem like the best run, with him being almost a second behind his championship rival. I think he may have just messed up slightly. Round Spoon. Are you big Spoon or little Spoon? Come on, Hot Stepper, let me know. Hot Stepper cheering on for Guna and M50. He's cheering for Team Alpine in my ass. He's invalidated, so he's not going to improve. As Portuguese approaches the casino chicane, throws his car in, looking fast. Oh! And just managed to hold it before hitting the wall between the pits. You could see when he was thrown his car through the chicane. He's pushing all limits, but pushed a little bit too hard and gave birth to twins. Let's keep an eye on Scatman Academies. Meow. A bit of a quiet qualifying session. Haven't really seen any team plays down 2.5 seconds, so there's no improvement for him. I think the car behind was on a warm lap. Let's keep one eye on the debutant then in the Williams. Benedict seems like he's got his brake fixed now and into the top 10. Either that or you just don't need to brake. Plenty of time found here from the Williams. I do believe that was 8/10. I wasn't looking properly. I can get him up to around P12, P13. I wasn't looking properly. Found half a second, which got him to P19. Just ahead of Gunnar. Might have been validated. Hot Stepper seems like he's cheering on the whole grid here. As Bekerez has joined the session finally. He's on an outlap, so they'll have one run and one run only. Rowley up to P19. All drivers making strides on their final runs. And it's behind, so let's keep an eye. Benji just started, and Six Pompano then. He's found just over a 10th. This could give him some big gains to get him onto the second row here. Gets a little bit slipstream off the Williams. 2.5 tenths now. Well, he needs quite a lot of time to get himself into the top 3. Oh, God. What was that? Aston Martin doing? And Six Pompano loses time, and it was Ahmadi. Oh, Ahmadi had potentially setting himself up for a lap and did not see the car behind. Keep an eye on Senna then, who's found 4/10. This could be a big finish for him. Could get him up to row 3, or even P4 if he can nail it. He does exactly what Portuguese did. Loses his back end and just avoids the wall. Qualifying is over, and the ice will start as P11. Unlucky for the Ferrari. Next up is Benji, gets himself into P7. As Rowley into the pits. George just found a little bit more time, but was pushing a bit too hard on that final corner and will stay P3. Tommy Ash found just over a 10th. You can see it's so congested. That'll get him at least up to ahead of Shawnee. But there still can be a couple of tenths found if you nail this final bend. And he does up to P7 ahead of his teammate as well. As Bekerez first run, P14. I think he'll be happy with that without doing any practice runs. Giza will be P18. As Katamis will be P16. Jack Daniels into the pits. Portuguese isn't doing anything else. All eyes potentially. Adamaco's invalidated. Raymond has found a bit of time and will be P13. All eyes on the Cadillac. He's P15. Oh, Goon is invalidated as well. So Portuguese on pole for Suzuka by a couple of tenths. I think it could have gone a bit closer, but one or two drivers just feeling the pressure. And it's going to be very, very interesting run down to turn 1. That bunch all the way down to P8 especially. M50 with a great debut into the top 10 for his first time out. And it'll be interesting to see how he navigates turn 1 and 2. Probably that first sector, it's so intertwined and so difficult when you're on your own, but when you're going side by side or following cars, the dirty air makes it impossible. Portuguese on pole with the 28-1, with Jax joining him on the front row to 1 and 10, 10th and a half behind. George and Amadee on row 2 with Adam Mako and Pimpano behind them. Tommy Ash and Benji, P7 and P8 with Shawnee and M50 round off the top 10. Benedict and Senna on row 6 with Ramon and B. Carez, 13th and 14th. Fleas and Catamies on row 8. Linzukan and Kiza, Benja and Rowley in the top 20 with Heltzer and Guna holding up the rear. Whoo-wee! Now, those on a those are watching, let me know who's on your podium for today. I don't think it's as clear cut as it looks. Portuguese was pushing and made a mistake, and it can happen in the race. Amadee didn't nail his times at all. I think there's 1 or 2 impedes by quali, I believe, so I'm sure in the steward's room there's going to be some penalties handed out. This is a medium to high downforce circuit where cars are 66% on the throttle, having to cope with the high cornering speeds and need to extra oomph down the straights with the change of regulations. There is a second straight line mode down the back straight before 130R, where an extra dose of speed. Of course, with it being dry, we're going to have overtake mode with those within a second of the driver ahead. We'll get that extra bit of horsepower to try and make an overtake, but it's not the easiest place. There is opportunities, but it's not the easiest circuit to make a move. I believe it's a one-stop. I think 1 or 2 may go for a 2-stop strategy, but 1-stop is possible. Obviously, you've got to play to how the race unfolds, but you're going to miss out. It's about 18-second pit stop. You won't want to be doing more than that. My top 3, I'm going to go for how it is now. I'm going to be quite boring. I'm going to go Portuguese P1. I'm going to go Jax P2 and George P3. All have got great race pace. Amadee will, I think, be snapping at the heels, especially early on. I think he'll fade off a bit with tyre wear. Yeah, I think those 4 are going to be fighting for the podiums. I think it's going to finish how it started. Let's have a look at everyone's strategy. So Becarez, the only one to start on softs. Very strange. So he's definitely going to be doing a 2-stop. Portuguese, Catamies and Linazuka and Team Audi doing the same strategy, all going for the alternate, with everyone else choosing to go onto the mediums and get a good launch off the line. Such a traditional circuit. Suzuka has been on the calendar, made its first appearance since 1987. And if those that are very much aware, 2005, Kimi Räikkönen did one of the greatest drives seen at this circuit, where he came from 17th to win the race, overtaking Fischer-Keller on the last lap. Amazon says it's going to be a 2-stopper, but I'm pretty sure a 1-stopper will be possible. It'll be interesting to see if people can make it last. It's different in GP conditions and league racing conditions, but it will be a sight to see. Some action, I'm sure. As you see, Portuguese is flying around the lap. He wants to get this underway. He's going around the 5.8 kilometre circuit, 18 corners, 10 to the right and 8 to the left, with the 2 straight modes that I mentioned, which he's just navigating now. There's a 50% chance of a safety car. And if you go further back, then my current stats, it can go up to about 67%. But there is quite a lot of run-off areas. The VSC chance of a 33%. Yeah, feel quite spread out here. Guna still coming around Spoon while Portuguese is jumping into his pit box. So he's going to be waiting quite a bit of time. I think he didn't really look in his... I don't think he looked at his map. I'll be quite surprised if he didn't. As you can see, the Haas of Jack's just pointing his car towards the guy in P1. And everyone looks like they're in their box. Katamise is always one to keep an eye out for, where he hangs out of his box like a dick hanging out of some trousers. There he goes. He does not disappoint. He just likes to be different. Alpine now just slotting into his grid box. You can see the heat coming off the cars. It's a hot track, a hot day. And I'm sure we're going to be seeing hot stuff. It's a run of down of 405 metres from turn 1. Braking point 2, pole position. Lights are on the way out. It's 5 lights. It's lights out and away we go for race 5 of season 32. And it's a great start from Rowley, up 4 positions already. Portuguese has held the front, top 3, 4, top 7 positions. As I say, as Adamako and D fighting hard for position, but Adamako slots back behind the Scotsman. Benedict up to P8 now. Brilliant start from the Williams. He doesn't have any brakes, but everyone's seeming to make their way around. Giza dropping down to P21. Looks like he's had a slight moment with B. M50's lost a couple of positions. Just had a bit of a slow start off the line now, battling with Fleasy and having to settle P14 as he goes through the second Degner. It looks like everyone's made it through quite safe. Tommy just holding off the attack of Benedict just behind. Benedict's on the inside line as they approach Spoon, but will slot behind. And they'll be... oh no, I was going to say we'll go single file, but Benedict managed to catch the Mercedes slightly snapping and got himself ahead of Spoon corner. You do not want to go two abreast through that double left-hander, as we've got a yellow flag. I think it's B. Carrez. Not had the best start to the race, and he's spinning around everywhere. Just a yellow flag, but now Shawnee gets swamped through the chicane. Lost a few positions down to P13 now. Visa carb driver and M50. What's happened to M50? He's crashed out on the final corner by the looks of it. Yeah, he's crashed down the final corner, I think potentially hitting the pit wall. And not the greatest of debuts for him. And has to call that one a day. Portuguese has stayed ahead with Jax, George and Amadi all close. The big train, no one's managed to detach themselves as of yet, as B. Carrez is in the pits. Had an absolute mare of a first lap, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did retire from the race already, half a second behind on top of a pit stop. Fleasy and Katamise side by side coming out of the hairpin. And Katamise staying ahead, making use of those hard tyres. And they'll be now just getting to the correct temperature. Spider-Man mean Benji and Benedict. At the moment Benji's just ahead, but Benedict's closing. And has a quick look on the inside, but no, it's a bit quick corner. Oh, I hope he didn't retire on the track there, B. His car's coming out of the pits. Everyone making use of the late braking on the chicane. Only losing out a couple of positions to Raymond and Helzer. A triple trifecta of reserve drivers, as Jax Daniels has taken the lead of the race, jumped back straight away by Portuguese. Jax taking an opportunist moment, but Portuguese slapped him right back. And George now all over the back of the Haas. Tommy Ash Just slightly adrift now of a 6-Pompano, but has had a better run up the hill and approaching the Degners. As Katani's now holding up the pack. His hard tyre is definitely not the quickest tyre, and he's now on the defence. As the rest of the pack down to Linnezuken, Concertina, Heltzer making use of this slow train, looking to do another double overtake towards Spoon. This is going to be brave, but has to back out. Oh, Ramon. You can see what he's going to do, but missed his braking point and thankfully moved out of the way. Oh, okay. Shawnee, I don't think he saw him there. You can see him just slightly lose his control of his car and hit the left-hand pod of Ramon and has damaged himself in the process. Senna getting ahead of Benedict out the chicane and up to P9. Ramon making strides. Fortunate again. Brake like a missile. Almost blew up. As Heltzer on the inside of turn 1. It's going to be a great move from the Williams. Left him just enough room, but he's not giving it up as yet, Fleasy. Side by side through the S-curves. Oh, and the Williams just loses control. That was unfortunate. He's got a damaged wing and he's going to have to go through the lap with a broken wing, but that's some brilliant racing from the Williams. Whether it was just a slight tap or just lost control of his rear end, it did look a bit inconspicuous. But he was looking very racy and very interested to see what he can do in the future. Jack Daniels pushing Portuguese like he did a couple of races ago. Pleasing Ramon's teammates side by side through the Spoon corner. Both made it through, but at the moment Fleasy is just ahead. And Senna now doing the same move to Benji. Oh, it's Rowley. Oh, and Ramon saw him coming, left him plenty of room, and it's a great aggression by the Red Bull and great awareness from Ramon as we jump back on and see this battle with Senna and Benji. Benji with the inside, better traction, and got himself ahead of the S's. Senna's going to have to follow through that dirty air with Benedict behind him. Div 2 rivals, Benja and Guna. Elbows out during the S-curves. As Ramon, Rowley holding the inside, but Ramon has the corner, and Fleasy trying to do a switch back, but rode the inside of the second Degner apex too much. That's putting under threat from the McLaren of Benja. On the inside of the hairpin, the drag racing towards Spoon corner, and Benja gets himself just ahead. Will Fleasy try and retake at Spoon as Benja going on the inside of Guna? Oh, just dumped him off a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if he gave that position back to the Alpinus. Losing out a couple of positions as well. Linnezuken taking advantage of the Alpine's misfortune as well. Benja just dropping back behind Rowley. I think potentially he's going to try and drop back and let Guna through. But he's going to lose a couple of positions in the process. And striking like a viper again on the outside of turn 1. This could be a great move, but goes off the circuit. You can see, and he's lost a couple of positions. He's got himself ahead of the Audi. Audi not giving it up though. And Ramon's facing the wrong way. At the same place that we saw Heltzer. He's managed to keep out the wall though. Must be a bit of ice on that part of the circuit. Back to your race leader. And he's still pulling the top 7. Senna and Benji having a great scrap here. Senna has a look on the outside. The door closed by Benji. Senna has a look on the inside of Spoon corner. Oh, and he's tapped. It probably wasn't the best place to make a move. There, Senna. Then Suzuka retaking Benja. Guna's back, snapping at his heels. Probably wasn't the best place. I would have held up behind and maybe tried to make a move at the chicane here, Senna. As Benedict now, the next one, to try and gain a position on his Spider-Man meme. Look at the speed he's got inside the turn. Should be rudimentary and done if he doesn't miss his braking point. Now he's got brakes. P8 for the Williams. Still that top 7 as you were, waiting for a mistake. Who's going to do the undercut? As you can see, George now pushing Jax to the limit. Up Dunlop through the second Degner now. Brilliant drive from the 7. There we go. Tommy and Adam. Tommy trying to make a move on the Ferrari, but Adam thwarts him off. Ahmadi now just stopping directly behind, as predicted. Doesn't seem to have a tyre management like the cars ahead of him does. And this will open the door if he can stay, if he'll stay out of the 1 second mark for Adam, Tommy and Six Pompano to try and jump the Aston Martin. In here, run down to 130R. No one's close enough to make a move yet, as D is in the pits for an early pit stop. You can see he was struggling, and this is a potential 2-stop for the Aston Martin driver. Quite early, he's got to go about 19-20 laps on these tyres. He's not going to get out ahead of his Katamis train either, which is not good. And see how bunched up this grid is. He's come out from P4 and is now on P18. The quality of this division is unreal. Easy. Nowhere to move round Rowley. We'll try on the inside. Dunlop, but rode the curb a bit too much. I think he'd want to hang on that left a bit longer than he did. We're going to want to try and get past Katamis. Will Rowley on the inside of hairpin. Tries a different line to the as Lynn Azukan out of nowhere jumped Fleasy and Rowley in the hairpin. Incredible move by the Audi. And now he's on the defence towards Spoon. He had some great pace in quali, but he's proven it in the race as well. Adamaka has now been done by Tommy Ash, as we've got a yellow flag. I think it might have been Guna just going slightly off. Try and break the toe. The Mercedes, as Adam tries to retake P4 after D's pit stop, but isn't close enough to make a move quite yet, and they are now dispatched from the front 3. So we've got a front 3 and a second 3. Benja over Fleasy. Can he do the double move? Door closed by Rowley. Roly-poly, jam roly-poly. That's an underrated, and Benja caught up in Fleasy. Went straight on through and said thank you very much. It's quite a bit of overtaking, considering it's a track that you can't overtake on. And I think drivers are utilising their battery in places that others don't expect you to use it. Ramon, door closed at the first Egner. And try again on the second run down to the hairpin as well. Ahmadi stuck in traffic. This is not where he wants to be. And Pompano's got past the Ferraris. Benja and Fleasy once again. D on the inside of Ramon. May should have better traction coming out the hairpin. We'll have the inside corner of Spoon. Ramon doesn't back out, where he has to go wide, and Scotsman up to P17. It should be an easy enough overtake on Guna. Adamaco's dropped back as the Mercedes are Tommy in the pits then, trying to cover off D. He's going to find himself at the back of that train once again. And Adamaco climbing up the hill through the S's. Jax Daniels has struggled to keep to the pace of Portuguese in that dirty air. Has just affected his tyres a bit too much, and now he's got a thwart off George just behind him. Amiash already past Guna. D has got past his teammate. And this is not the best place to be in the wake of another car, because a quick look on the outside of the first Egma, and there's nowhere to go. He would have been boxed in by Giza. This is a brilliant defence from the Aston Martin, holding the pack up behind him to release his teammate. His teammate's already a second and a half ahead of him. Tommy trying to get past one, but still stuck behind Ramon, who's having a brilliant drive. Giza not able to halt those two going through. A brilliant defensive show and team play from Mr. Constructors Champion himself. Pompano and Plaster in. It's got to be a big plaster to plaster his wound. Senna's in as well from P8, as we got another yellow flag. I think it's Tommy. Oh no, I think he's been caught in a bit of drama at the chicane, trying to force his way through, and found himself back down in P18. Rowley's in as well, potentially one of the ones caught in. I don't think he was. I think he was higher up than that. One car spread out. Adamaco's now in P3 with a bit of open air, and it looks like he's closing the gap slightly on Jax. The telemetry's to-ing and fro-ing. The ones that are yet to pit definitely doing a one-stop. There's George. Now ahead of Suzuka. Next up, he's going to try and be one of those ones trying to get past Katamis. This will affect his chance for a podium. Another yellow flag. Looks like Heltzer. Can he make it down to 130R? Katamis has great straight line speed. George might have to be the master of the late braking at the chicane. Katamis plants his car in the middle of the road. He is very frustrating. Everyone in the pits now out the front, apart from Portuguese. Is this the place that George can do it now to turn one? Has he saved his battery? But there's a car coming out of the pits that's halted his opportunity to make the overtake, and it's Jax Daniels. Who George was trying to do an undercut on. And that's a great team play once again. Armidi's slap bang behind Katamis and right in the mix with Jackson George now. And Armidi is definitely doing a two-stop as he's pit four mediums outside of a corner from Katamis, who... It's a bit testy that was from Katamis. Looked like he'd squeezed him off into the gravel. And Six Pompano now ahead of the Aston Martin. Oh God, what's going on there? Katamis and Lina Zuken and Mako on the inside of the Swede. As where's Armadiga? That looked very odd, and it's a VSC. What happened to Amadi? It looked like his wheel broke and he just veered off, and it's a full safety car. We've got a full safety car, and that benefits one person and one person only. Portuguese beast. Katami's Linazuka Naguna will benefit slightly for this, but Portuguese. Oh, that looked a bit weird. Interesting to see what happened with D. As Katami's is in the pits. Oh, he's still not round to the lap yet. So Katami's, Linazuka and Guna, Tommy pitting for fresh tyres, Ramon and Heltzer all in. And you might as well pit for fresh tyres. Those that haven't already put some... Although, oh, is this too early for Portuguese? Because he's got to do the rest of the race on mediums. He should be able to make it, but it's going to be a tough ending for him. Oh, I forgot about that. His teammate and Katami's with the same strategy. It's going to be a testy final few laps for the Audi. He's going to have a good launch from the safety car restart, but Jack's screaming round, approaching the casino chicane. Portuguese should come out with plenty of space. Jack's having to watch that Delta. Ramona Heltzer going on fresh mediums as well. I think it's going to be a tough ending, you know. It's going to be a tough ending. Bert Mylander in his Mercedes. Out unexpectedly. And the unexpected driver in the wall, Amadi. Just, don't know what happened. Just snapped to the right. Going round Spoon Corner. And ended up in the wall. You see one or two drivers have been in the gravel. So at the moment, as it stands, Portuguese, Jax, George, your top three. Pompano, Adamaco, Benedict. Platinum Drivers found himself up into P6. Benji P7. Now, if I'm right, Benji is the driver in front for the Elite. I am correct. Those are not aware what I'm saying. So for Lights Only Racing, our format is we have two divisions. You're watching the Div 1 boys right now, and that will be followed around 9 PM UK for the Div 2 lads within each division. We have two tiers, the top 10, 11, the top 11 drivers are in the Platinum tier, and the second 11 are in the Elite tier, each with its own championship. Of course, the Div 1 championship, and each driver, one driver from each division make up a constructors. And at the moment, Benji is leading the way for the Elite drivers. It means that there's plenty of championships to play for throughout the season. Keeps it interesting. And gives pretty much most drivers something to fight for. But he's got Senna and Katami's right on his gearbox for that Elite win. here in Suzuka. I've seen one or two sumo moves within the first half of this race. Hopefully we get a good restart. It'll be interesting to see. Oh, what's happened to... Oh, what's happened? Oh, no. Surely not. Surely he's not lost traction onto the safety car. Oh my God. Oh, he's not going to live that down, I'm sure. And he looks like he's got a damaged wing as well. What's gone on there? Was that his own doing, or has there been some safety car antics? I'm sure we'll hear about it afterwards. But Adamaka then found himself in P14, and I would not be surprised if he's going to be in the pits again. Get that ring replaced. Oh, it was going so well for him. Go around once again as we're waiting for Shawnee P's car to catch up. I'm going to replenish my neck lube. I'm on non-alcoholic tonight. As those that were listening to my moonlighting session on Monday night. I'm off to the cinema tonight after the Div 2. Gonna go watch Spider-Man come out to play. Why just sit at home and wank all night when you can go to the cinema and wank in public? Adamaka does go in, stick some fresh mediums, get that wing replaced. It does mean he's going to have to climb from the back of the order. If anyone can gain, he's got about 12 laps or so to do it. Moving out to P6, Senna, Catanese, Rowley and Linazukan are your top 10. Yeah, I'll be intrigued to find out what happened to Amadi. It didn't look like he was contested at all going through the corner. Didn't look like he was following anybody. I wonder if it was like his wheel broke or something. The safety car should be in, and we should get the signal any time now. There we go. And Portuguese will hold this pack up. You've got to stay a consistent pace. You can't jockey speeds. And Constantine in the pack, you can't overtake until the timeline. You've got to wait for the safety car to enter the pits. It'll be interesting to see when Portuguese goes. I reckon he'll go now. Oh, he has gone now. He's already gone. I thought he would. There's no better place on this track to go than before the chicane. He's caught Jack slightly napping, and George has swamped now from Six Pompano. And brilliant move from the Welshman now into the top three. And Senna and Katami. Senna flying past the Haas and up to P7 now. And we'll be having big eyes on Benji for that elite win. Currently running as the lead Ferrari. Further down we've got Ramon and Guna. Ramon just dispatching the Div 2 driver. He's doing a bit of a warm-up for the race following this one. The the former. He's a former Challenger champion. Linazukan and Rowley. Linazukan taking outside line. It's just held off for now, but he's going slightly ahead towards Spoon. Rowley still hanging on the outside, trying to make a move on the Audi, but the Audi will have the corner. Brilliant move from Linazukan, and this is definitely his best drive of the season. No one to jinx it. As Rowley goes wide, coming out of Spoon, picking himself up a nice cheeky penalty. Benedict's here. Seems George is not liking these hard tyres. He's not managed to get them up to temperature as of yet. The Portuguese, no doubt, with that fast up on the medium tyres with open air. And already the field just slightly stretching after the restart. The majority on the hard tyres, trying to get them up to the temperature you need. It can be quite difficult. The question is, how long will Portuguese's tyres last? They should go all the way with the open air, but he's got to nurse them. Heltzer. I'll say this has been a great debut for Heltzer. You know, he's not challenging for podiums, but he's putting some great wheel-to-wheel battling as Gunnar and Shawnee, Div 2 rivals. Oh, and Gunnar keeping valiant control of his car in the gravel as Shawnee goes through. Or does he? Defended again from the long-headed McDaddy. Keeping that P17. Adamako trying to jostle his way past Shawnee. Adam may get blocked by the Alpine, but as the inside of Spoon. And Shawnee, nothing he can really do there. Okay, overtake from the Ferrari. Raymond, the Cadillac. And past the Aston Martin. And losing out to Heltzer as well. Kieser just giving up the position at the chicane. Helped his teammate with a bit of a great defensive action. Oh, what's happened to Adam as well? He's gone again at the chicane. A race to forget for the Ferrari driver. As Tommy Ash got himself into the top 10 once again, but Rowley. Oh, this is brave from both. Tommy now just getting his car just ahead as we rise up Dunlop. Great driving from both drivers. Rowley looking just behind him now with Benja snapping at his heels. Yeah, George struggling with pace on these hard tyres. He's got Benedict, Benji and Senna for company behind him. That's what's happened to Rowley and Tommy. Oh no, it's just a cluster of cars through the hairpin. Oh! Christ in the hell. It's busier than a one-armed monkey with two dicks. As we see Tommy just go wide out the exit of Spoon. Heltzer and Ramon once again. Ramon Elisa. And a quick look at her as Tommy and Benja. Benja defending the chicane corner, but Tommy looks like he's got more speed. He's going to try and take him down to turn one, and then he's flying past. Nothing Benja can do. Whoa, as they're all trying to get past him. This could be incredible. And Benja has absolutely been whipped like a bitch. Manages to thwart Heltzer slightly, but Heltzer gets on through as well. Oh, he's had 3 places taken off him in a space of a couple of corners. Now they'll get clipped up for the admin team. Of course, he's just using this practice for his main division following this one. He's kept it a bit quiet at the moment, but he's caught in this battle behind him. He's just fell into the clutches. And Tommy's been looking very, very racy. Bandit says chaos in the midfield. I don't think it's chaos. I think it's just too many cars in this small amount of road. Sends my heart into palpitations. I can't do it, Captain. Helps and Raymond at it once again. Down 130R. I thought we just saw this as Tommy does get past the Cadillac up into the top 10. Raymond behind his teammate. Where his teammate let him through. Oh, he's got nowhere to go though. rides the curb. Raymond saw what was going to happen. Tommy trying to break the slipstream. Cadillac's exchanging positions now as Raymond on the inside of Fleasy. Fleasy trying to break later on the outside. Hanging on. May have the inside of the S-curves. Do not hit each other, or there will be team orders, but it looks like Raymond will be slightly ahead, but I might be wrong. Fleasy trying to swat the Williams away, but on the inside, no he didn't, he bloody did, through Dunlop corner. What a move from Heltzer. It's Heitzer. I'm too excited, it's Heitzer. Cracking overtake on the inside of Dunlop. It's brave, and he made it stick. I like it a lot. And Benedict just dropping back a bit from George now. Has to try and keep an eye on Benji and Senna behind him. I think Benedict, considering he didn't have a brake pedal in quali, finishing P5. There's nothing to cry home about, but he's back into the second of Plaster. I don't know if he got overtake mode or not. Oh no, Raymond's been caught in a bit of drama through the chicane, has lost out quite a few positions in that midfield. He was getting very, very tight and feisty. As Tommy has now got past the Swede driver of Linnezuken. He's going to want to try and hold on to this top 10 finish. Next up for Tommy, 2.5 seconds away, is Katames. We've got 5 laps to go. I don't want this to end. Woo-wee! Raymond has just flown by Gunnar at the end of Dunlop. Brilliant, just brilliant. You've got to have the balls to do it, but you've also got to trust the driver that they're going to hang it on the outside. As we see an exchange of position, I think Raymond has had another moment. He looked like he was driving quite aggressive following his earlier incident. Senna has got ahead now of Benji, and Senna now takes the lead in the Elite Championship for finishing positions today. As Heitzer at 130R overtaking Linnezuken into the top 10. Mack has got ahead of Raymond. Raymond just needs to calm a bit and just... It is pretty much a 4-lap sprint for him, but I think he was just trying to push his way through a bit too aggressively as Kieser. Almost close to make a move and roll it at turn 1, but just ran out of road. And we'll have to follow the Red Bull through the S-curves. Will we see any late moves as Senna's caught up to Benedict now? Senna found some final race pace here. Either that or the drivers around him are just nursing the tyres, or he's just managed his tyre wear better. On the back of the grid, Raymond and Adam. Raymond on the outside of the hairpin. Adam has the inside of Spoon Corner once again. Slight tap of wheels, but the Ferrari has the corner. Portuguese just setting fastest lap for Bantz. Well, Adam looks to try and get past Shawnee P, potentially at the chicane here. Not close enough without doing a dive bomb, which of course we do not condone. Let's check on with Benji and Senna again. Benji try to just nip past the Ferrari at turn 1. Again, just ran out of road, and Benedict on full defence potentially for the next 3 laps. And we've got George and Six Pompano now fighting for this final podium position. George has probably seen the pack chasing him and thought, foot to the floor, I must go, chill out. Benja following Keyser through the Degners. Keyser again putting up a great defence as the Mercedes getting past the fridge of Katamis. Ahead of Spoon, brilliant overtake. But Katamis actually retake. Wow. Where did he find that speed? He might have used all his battery just to defend. We know Katamis does have big straight line speed. I think Tommy's going to try and retake this. Is he going to try and do it at 130R? It's going to be brave for both. Wonderful driving. Katamis with his nose just ahead on the inside. Hopefully they don't lock wheels and... oh, great. Scythed his way through. Nothing Katamis could do unless, but he tries to retake down to turn 1. Defence on the inside from the Mercedes. Katamis just thinking better of it. And Katamis of previous may have done a dive bomb there, but thought better of it. And Heltzer will try and get past the Haas himself. Ramon and Adamaco at it once again. Oh, not sure Adam should have had his car there. It looked like he'd plonked it in last minute. Try to me of a desperate lunge. Senna's looking for that top 5. And at the moment it's looking like he's potentially favourite as he's closing in on Benedict on the inside of Spoon Corner. Just drops back out a bit, saves his exit, prioritise the exit down to 130R. It looks like he's dropped back a bit as Benji just watching and waiting. Be able to pick up the pieces if something happens. There's still plenty of time to go. On the penultimate lap now. Portuguese did check out. Was quite fortunate with the safety car. And has got himself a 6-second advantage to Jackson P2. Fleasy and Linazukin exchange positions now. 11th and 12th, but Linazukin's not giving it up right. But just pulls out at the last moment. We'll have to keep an eye. Oh, Italian hand gesture for Adam Mako, who's retired in the pit lane. Has called it a day. Heitzer managed to get past Katamis. He's probably had a couple of laps where he thought, who is this guy? How's he defending so well? He's managed to get himself now to P9. Great debut from Heitzer. Really impressed with him. His center move now. Needs a good exit coming out of Spoon. Again. Benedict's got a better exit. As Linazukin's got himself ahead of Fleasy. Can Linazukin defend? He cannot. They're side by side going down to 130R. And Fleasy back ahead of the Audi. As the other Audi has started their final lap. George has only got probably about 15 corners or so now to make a move. As Senna has finally got past Benedict, as does Benji, or I said so. No, Benedict elbows out to his Spider-Man meme. Senna looks like he's got this position consolidated Portuguese is just slightly falling back to Jax, but I think he's just cruising to the end now. Jax has got 1.5 seconds to that battle for P3. As we jump on, your championship leader, your race leader. Oh, he's going to cross the line. I just want to keep an eye on this battle, though, as Portuguese gets the fastest lap as well. It looks like George has held off Pompano. It's going to be a run to the line as Jax takes P2. It looks like Six Pompano takes the final podium position at the line, 2/10 ahead of George. But big shout out to Portuguese. Managed the race well. Didn't have it all his own way, but takes the win. Jax comes home in P2. Quality drive from the Haas, but Pompano nipping to the line ahead of George. Cracking run to the line. Senna takes the elite win and takes P5. Brilliant drive from the Ferraris, even after having his spin earlier on around Spoon Corner. Benedict 6, Benji Boy takes P2 in the elite ahead of his teammate as well. Heitzer, P9. And that was, I'm absolutely sweating, you know. I'm gonna have to have a shower before I go out. It's not even, well, it is a bit warm. I haven't got my window open. Fuck, what a rookie move. What a rookie move. And there's your race winner, being like an absolute social media bitch with his phone out. Put it away, you whore. But takes that race win and extends his lead at the top, especially with Amadi crashing out. And gets another point with the fastest lap. Also, driver day given to Benedict, with Gunnar the most overtakes, of course, the driver. With the biggest gain from their qualified position, gets an extra point as well. But for the race, Portuguese, 30.5 fastest lap, got pole and the race win. The trifecta for your championship leader. Jax Daniels taking P2. I think he'll be chuffed with that. And Six Pompano run to the line with that P3. George just missing out P4. Senna P5 from P12. Cracking run for him with Benedict 6. Benji P7. Tommy Ash P8. Heltzer P9 from P21. Incredible drive. Katami's P10. Lindsay 12. Fleasy 12th. 13th for Kiza. 14th for Benja. Rowley 15th. 16th for Guna. Raymond 17th. Shawnee 18th. Adam D. Carez and M50 all retiring from the race. Whoa, well, that's Div 1 boys done for another week. And if you want to catch them next week, they will be racing at Jeddah, and it's a sprint weekend. So join us, please, at 7:30 UK. And if you want to see more this week, we've got the Div 2 boys in about 15 minutes' time, around 9 p.m. UK. And they will be doing their run at Suzuka. We shall see you very soon. My name's Alex, Lights Out League Racing. Peace out.